Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a truly essential plunge into something incredibly vital, but often surprisingly overlooked, your kidneys.
That's right.
These two small bean-shaped organs are really the silent powerhouses of your body, aren't they? Always working behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Tirelessly.
So our mission today is to, dig into the sources we've gathered, pull out those crucial, sometimes surprising nuggets of knowledge, give you a shortcut maybe to being well-informed about keeping your kidneys healthy.
And spotting trouble early.
Exactly. Spotting trouble early and understanding some of the really groundbreaking treatments coming down the pike, and helping us navigate this, complex but critical topic is our expert speaker. You bring such deep insight into kidney care.
Oh, it's a real pleasure to be here. And, I think the more we understand about these organs, the better equipped we all are to protect them. It's often fascinating, actually, just how foundational kidney health is to our overall well-being. It influences so many systems you might not immediately connect. A little chuckle there, perhaps.
Okay, let's unpack this then. When most people think kidneys, they probably jump straight to cleaning the blood.
Right. That's the common one.
And yeah, that's true, but it feels like just the tip of the iceberg, doesn't it? What else are these incredible organs doing kind of behind the scenes that we might not realize?
You're absolutely right. Filtration is a huge part of their job. I mean, they filter about 50 gallons of blood daily.
50 gallons? Wow.
Yeah, stripping out waste and excess fluid that then becomes urine. But their roles extend far, far beyond that. They're meticulously balancing vital electrolytes like sodium and potassium. And that's a really delicate dance, crucial for nerve and muscle function. They're also key players in controlling your blood pressure by regulating fluid levels in the body.
Ah, okay. The fluid connection.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. They produce critical hormones. One of these stimulates your bone marrow to make red blood cells.
Ah, so that explains the anemia link sometimes.
Precisely. Anemia can actually be an early sign of kidney issues for that reason. Another hormone helps maintain bone health by activating vitamin D.
Right.
So when we talk about protecting your kidneys, it's not just about filtering blood. It's about your bones, your blood pressure, your energy levels, really your entire systemic health. That's why protecting them is so vital.
Wow, they're multitasking superheroes. Seriously. Orchestrating so many things. It makes perfect sense then that if something goes awry with our kidneys, it can just, cascade across nearly every system in the body.
That's exactly it, a domino effect.
So knowing that, what are the most common kidney challenges that you frequently encounter? And maybe what's a less obvious connection people should be aware of?
Well, the most prevalent issues we see are definitely chronic kidney disease, CKD, we call it, and kidney stones.
Okay.
See, CKD is particularly insidious because it often progresses silently for a long time. In the U.S., the vast majority of cases, we're talking over 70%, are caused by diabetes and high blood pressure.
Right, the two big ones.
Yes. These conditions slowly damage the tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys over years. And, something that often surprises people is if you have resistant hypertension.
The really stubborn kind?
Exactly. The kind that's really hard to control even with medication. Sometimes kidney dysfunction might be a silent underlying culprit, even if you don't feel any kidney symptoms yet.
That's good to know.
Then you have kidney stones. These are literally mineral and salt deposits that form when your urine becomes too concentrated. They can be incredibly painful.
Oh, I've heard stories.
Yes, but thankfully they're usually treatable. And then there are kidney infections. The medical term is pyelonephritis.
Pyelonephritis, okay.
These are typically caused by bacteria traveling up from the bladder. Now, these aren't just uncomfortable. If they're left untreated, they can be quite dangerous, potentially leading to permanent kidney damage or even sepsis.
Wow, serious stuff.
Very serious. So prompt antibiotic treatment is absolutely critical there.
That's a powerful reminder, isn't it? How interconnected everything is. And given how silently some of these issues can progress, well, it feels like a race against time to catch them sometimes.
It can be.
For many people, that's the scariest part, just not knowing what to look for. So what are those subtle whispers maybe that our bodies give us? Things that, if we pay attention, could be life-saving? What are the key early warning signs we absolutely shouldn't ignore?
Right, this is truly critical information for everyone listening. While it's true many kidney problems don't have obvious signs early on, there are certain red flags that should definitely prompt a conversation with your doctor.
Okay, like what?
Things like swelling, particularly in your feet or ankles,
Hmm.
or urine that looks persistently foamy or bubbly that can indicate excess protein leaking out.
Foamy urine, okay.
Also, noticeable changes in how often you urinate, either much more or much less frequently than usual for you.
Mhm.
Persistent fatigue or weakness, the kind that just doesn't seem to go away with rest. And high blood pressure that's newly diagnosed or suddenly becomes difficult to control even with medication you're already taking.
Right. The resistant hypertension link again.
Exactly. So if you experience any of these signs, it's not a reason to panic, but it is a clear signal to consult a doctor. And the encouraging part is, simple urine and blood tests can detect many kidney issues very early, often well before significant damage occurs.
Good to know. Better safe than sorry, absolutely. Those are incredibly actionable insights. Knowing those signs really underscores the importance of being proactive. So beyond just spotting trouble, what daily habits can listeners adopt to actually protect these vital organs before problems even arise? What are the most impactful practical steps they can take? Maybe starting today.
Absolutely. Prevention is really powerful, and many strategies are quite straightforward, actually. First and foremost, if you have conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure, managing them meticulously is paramount.
That's number one.
Absolutely. Keeping your blood sugar and blood pressure within the target ranges your doctor recommends is the single most important thing you can do for your kidneys. Second, stay hydrated.
Drink your water, folks.
Yes, and plain water is always the best choice. This just helps your kidneys do their job of filtering waste efficiently.
Okay.
Third, pay attention to your diet. Limiting excess salt and processed foods is crucial. They contribute to both high blood pressure and fluid retention, which burdens the kidneys.
Right, makes sense.
Fourth, embrace those foundational lifestyle choices. Avoid smoking. It directly damages blood vessels everywhere, including the kidneys, and try to exercise regularly. And here's a point many people overlook. Medication. Caution. Be very wary of frequent long-term use of over-the-counter painkillers like ibuprofen or naproxen.
Oh, really? Like Advil or a Lep?
Exactly. Now, they're fine for occasional use, like a headache here or there, but chronic reliance on them, day after day for weeks or months, can silently degrade kidney function over years, often before any symptoms appear.
Wow, that's slightly terrifying.
Just something to be mindful of.
Yeah.
Always discuss long-term pain management with your doctor. There are often kidney-safer alternatives.
Such practical advice. It really highlights how those seemingly small daily habits just add up over time, doesn't it?
They really do.
It sounds straightforward, but I imagine for many people, sticking to these changes can be a real struggle. What's like one common hurdle people face when trying to implement this kidney smart lifestyle, and how do you advise them to overcome it?
That's a great question because, knowing is one thing, doing is another entirely.
Right.
I think a common hurdle is often the lack of immediate feedback. You don't feel your kidneys working day to day, so it's easy to let these habits slide, to deprioritize them.
Yeah, I can see that. Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. So my advice is usually to focus on small, consistent changes that accumulate over time. Instead of trying to overhaul everything at once, maybe pick one or two things.
Okay, like what?
Like swapping out sugary drinks for water most of the time, or adding just a 15-minute walk to your day. And then celebrate those small wins. Build momentum.
And build momentum.
And remember the why. It's powerful. These efforts aren't just about avoiding illness down the road. They're about maintaining your energy, your clarity, your overall quality of life now and for decades to come.
That's really helpful, connecting it to tangible, everyday well-being, not just some abstract future risk.
Right. It makes them more immediate.
Okay, now, shifting gears a bit, moving from prevention to the cutting edge. What new developments are you most excited about in kidney care? What's on the horizon that offers real hope for patients?
Oh, there's tremendous excitement in research right now. It's a really hopeful time. One significant breakthrough has been with a class of drugs called SGLT2 inhibitors.
Oh,
Yeah, they were originally developed for diabetes. But what's fascinating is that multiple large studies now show they effectively slow kidney disease progression, even in people without diabetes.
really? Even without diabetes?
Yes, it's quite remarkable. They offer a new, powerful, protective layer for kidney function across a wider range of patients.
That's huge.
It is. We're also seeing really remarkable progress with artificial kidneys.
Artificial kidneys, like replacing dialysis.
That's the long-term goal. Imagine a future with wearable or even implantable devices that could one day replace traditional dialysis or at least significantly reduce the need for transplants.
Wow. That would be life-changing for millions.
Absolutely enormous potential impact. Now, these are still in development, of course, but the progress is accelerating. And speaking of transplants, advances in immunosuppressive drugs continue to improve.
To prevent rejection.
Exactly. Making transplants more successful, with better long-term outcomes and fewer side effects. Helping people keep their transplanted kidney healthy for longer.
These advancements sound incredibly promising. For the artificial kidneys, though, what's the biggest hurdle right now? Is it making them small enough, or powering them, or something else? And what kind of timeline are we realistically looking at?
That's a very keen observation. The biggest hurdles right now for artificial kidneys are indeed things like miniaturization, getting all that complex filtering technology into a small, manageable device.
Right.
Also finding power sources that are sustainable and safe for long-term wear or implantation.
Right.
And critically, biocompatibility, ensuring the body doesn't reject the device or form clots over time.
So quite a few challenges still.
Yes, significant engineering and biological challenges. In terms of timeline, for widespread adoption of, say, implantable devices, we're likely talking years, perhaps even a decade or more. Wearable options might see some limited use sooner.
Okay, so not tomorrow, but definitely moving forward.
Definitely. It's not a silver bullet for tomorrow, but the progress is undeniable. Research is moving fast, and that's profoundly good news for patients.
This has been so eye-opening, really fascinating stuff. So what does this all mean for our listener? Could you maybe give us a concise recap? What are the absolute key takeaways from our deep dive today?
Absolutely. Happy to. For anyone listening, I think there are 4 essential points to really carry forward. First, know your risk, especially if you have underlying conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure. Talk to your doctor about it.
Got it. Know your risk.
Second, listen to your body. Don't ignore those subtle signals we talked about, the swelling, the fatigue, changes in urination. Pay attention.
Listen to your body. Yep.
Third, live kidney smart. Make those conscious daily choices. Eat well, stay hydrated, get some exercise, and be cautious with unnecessary medications, especially those NSAID painkillers.
Live kidney smart. Makes sense.
And finally, perhaps most importantly, remember that early detection saves lives and preserves kidney function. Don't wait for symptoms if you have risk factors. Get checked regularly.
Early detection. Fantastic advice. And thank you so much for making such a complex topic so clear and, frankly, relatable.
My pleasure entirely.
You know, thinking about how much these multitasking superheroes, as we called them, do behind the scenes, often silently, it really makes you consider what other seemingly simple functions does your body perform that might hold surprising depth.
Interesting thought.
And how maybe just a little awareness, a little proactive care in different areas can lead to not just those aha moments, but really profoundly better health and maybe a richer life overall. Something to ponder.
Absolutely. Always something more to learn. And I think that curiosity about our own bodies is truly the best medicine. Take care, everyone.